Videos with the Gregories. Hey, thanks again for watching our channel. We really do appreciate it. Before we get started on tying today's fly, I wanted to apologize to you guys for the video I made yesterday. That was the first one I made, and I had actually zoomed in to this vise where I wanted to make sure you could see exactly what I was doing on that hook. But I never thought about it, that you couldn't see my face, and then when I was holding up pictures of the fly, trying to show you what we were working on, I couldn't get it positioned just right. So anyway, today I've zoomed out so you can see me, and I'll kind of introduce to you what we're going to be doing, and then I'll stop the video and then go zoom in more to the vise so you can actually see what I'm doing. But hopefully today's going to be different. But what we're going to be doing is it's called the Quack, and I'm hoping that maybe you can see that. But that's what we're going to be tying today. So anyway, okay, so just hold on. I'm going to pause this, and then I'm going to go zoom in again a little bit closer to this vise so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So this should work out all right. Okay, so what we're going to be using is a number 10 dry fly hook. And that's, I'm going to put it right, I think you can see that okay. But that's going to be the hook. So let's get it in the vise here. Let's lock her down right there. Let's go in a little bit further. Make sure that's good and secure. Okay. Okay, so there's the hook. We got it in. So, and what we're going to be doing is it's got a little bit, just a little area of pink thread. So, but what we're going to do is I'm going to be going ahead and lining the whole shank with the pink, because I think between the peacock earl and the hackle, it's going to cover up the rest of that. So, alright, okay, so let me get my little bobbin out here again, and where did it go? Oh, let's see, just in case you couldn't see it yesterday, here's the bobbin that we're going to be using. And so let's get this thread ready to go. Get it out of there. Okay, now I know you're not going to be able to see a lot of what I'm doing, because I want you to see what I'm actually doing on the hook. Not so much getting ready. But one of these videos I'll do it just so you can see how we get all this stuff done. So, okay, let me get my little worm threader out here. Let's get it in. And yesterday, that nano mic I was trying to use, I never could get it to work right. This is a Nikon camera I'm using, so and I think they're kind of like Canon. They, Canon and Nikon, they're like the Cadillacs of the DSLR cameras, and they want you to buy their stuff. So they make them where nothing else will work on them, except, their product, either Canon or Nikon. It's kind of like Ford or Chevy. You can't buy Chevy parts and put in the Ford. At least I don't think you can. And you can't buy Ford parts and put in the Chevy. So they don't make a generic car, that where you can just interchange parts. At least not that I'm aware of. So cameras are, almost the same way. So, okay, I got the thread through, so let's go ahead and put down that first, that base layer thread. So let me get that wrapped around my fingers, and I'm going to start, probably about a 1/4 inch down from the eye. Let me get lots of thread out here, because that hook kind of gives. So let's make a couple of wraps here going towards the eye, and then we'll come back and we'll be using that tag line again, and we'll take it all the way down to the bend of the hook. So I got the football game. This is Sunday, actually January 1, and we got the football games going. I'm watching that. There's Kansas City and Denver, and last time I looked, it looked like it was Kansas City ahead by a little bit. So did you guys stay up until midnight? I didn't. Actually, okay, oops, I hit that hook, so like I was telling you yesterday, you guys be careful, make sure you don't. Okay, so that's good. All right, let's cut that tag line. I have a hard time sleeping at night, so I'll go to bed at 9, 10 o'clock, and then I'm awake by midnight at least, and I'll be up the rest of the night. So last night was, no exception. I went to bed about 9 o'clock, and I was awake at 10:30. So I got up at 10:30, and I actually got to see the ball drop, and I watched some of their shows. And but here we are in 2023. Okay, we got that done, and it looks like. Okay, we got a tail to put in first, so I'm going to go with, oh shoot, see I didn't get my tail feathers out, huh? But I think I'm going to go with the same stuff I had yesterday, so let's get some of those deer fibers out here. I think that'll work. I think I got some scraps that I saved as I cut. So let me find all these. I got sandwich bags of all kinds of stuff here. Let's get it out. Should be able to just find them. Yeah, I use those little coin-sized bags. That's okay. That's the moose hair. That's too dark. There we go. It's elk hair, but yeah, it'll work. So let's get a chunk out, and I'm probably gonna stack these. Okay, that way you can see how we actually stack it. I can't remember if I showed you yesterday, but let's clean this all up. So I'm gonna pull off some of those loose ones. Pull off get these stragglers out of here. Pull off those, and that may not stack. There's my stacker. Let's move that over here. And just in case I didn't show you yesterday, what we do is we'll take these. Yeah, we'll take one. That side looks not too bad. We'll take this side here, and we'll stick them down in there. And oh, I just lost a bunch of it. Okay, let's get some more. The stacker doesn't work too good unless you got lots of fiber in there to stack. So let's take a little bit more, so that I know it'll stack. Let's go ahead and add that stuff to it. Even though I won't use this much for the tail, but at least I'll get it stacked, and I'll use as much as I need. That's a long piece that come out of there. Okay, let's shove her down in there. Get it down in there all the way, and then let's just, and that's what this does, is you just do that a few times, and then be careful when you pull this out. Yeah, and if you can see, it kind of cuts all that off nice and even. And then carefully pull it out. And then this is, we're going to want to flip this around. Okay, and then we're going to do the same. I want this thing probably, okay, say that's the length of the hook right to there. So we're going to want to go double. And then I'll trim it. Okay, so how much do we need? Not quite that much. So let's take some of this off of here. Probably about half that much. So there we go. Get the stragglers out of there. Okay, so let's do this again. There's the length, so we're going to come to there. Okay, let's get my... Now, you gotta be careful. I'm gonna try to, when I anchor this down, I'm gonna kind of move this over on the side, and slowly I'm gonna make one loose wrap again, and then another loose wrap, and then come down and just snag it, and then just make some, you see it's starting to turn already, and that's the, and let's make another loose wrap. Try to get that anchored down. There we go. That's better. Okay, make sure. Okay, so then we're back down there where we want to be anyway. So let's let me see, it's starting to spin. So let's bring it back. Keep that. Okay, so now let's go back up towards the eye of the hook. We're going to have to keep working with it. And just do it as tight as you can without breaking the thread. And then we're going to want to take that all the way up close to the eye as we can. But leave enough to where you can pull back and you can trim it nice and even so you can cover it up. So, and I'm making it as tight as I can as we go. And so where's the half we want to be? Up there. Okay, so I don't want... Let's take it just a little bit closer. Okay, that should be good. Okay, and then what I do is I take this stuff and I bend it back so I know I can get as much of it cut off of it as possible. And I'll try to cut at an angle so it's easier to cover up. And then let's just take it down. That should be good. Okay, let's do some. Okay, that small stuff is not enough to save. Okay, so, but this stuff here I can. Let's shove that back in there to my scraps. Yeah, I tell you what, these little sandwich baggies come in handy for a lot of things. Okay, let's put that back up. And I think that's the only hair we're going to have to use. Alright, let's trim off some of this stuff. Make it clean. And be careful you don't accidentally pull around and cut the thread. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let's just kind of spiral thread this back to that end. Okay, so we're going to be putting on some peacock herl. And I got it. What's that? Some more hair. Oh, here it is. And I've actually got a peacock feather here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take, I'll show you here. It's always better, let's get it out. Okay, so this is your peacock feather. There's a couple of them here. So it really doesn't matter which one I use, but I think it's always better when you're trying to wrap the peacock curl. It's probably always better if you get close to the eye up here of the feather, because your curl strands are a little bit thicker and heavier up here. So we'll find one up here that looks pretty good. Yeah, let's see, this one's not bad. As long as yeah. Oh, but that's a short one. Well, that may be enough to do what we need this trip. But I like one of these longer ones. Let's try to find one of these longer ones. Those are not quite fat enough. Yeah, that one looks alright. So let's go ahead and you should just be able to pop that right off. Okay, let's trim off that little. It doesn't look that good, but we're going to try it and see how it comes out. Let's trim off this little white stub there. Okay. Okay, oh, I do got to go all the way back so I can anchor that down, huh? And we're right at the tail on this one. And so I'm going to come down straight as I can. And let's get that anchored. Anchored really good. Okay, so now remember, I'm going to try again. I'm going to be using these hackle pliers. I still got some wire in there from last time. See if I can get that around there without breaking it. Yeah, now this peacock curl is really, it's really flimsy. So let's be careful going around that hook. Yeah, see, just like that. See how easy that popped off? So, okay, so sometimes it's better if you can use your fingers. It may be better doing that, but I have a hard time holding on to it. So let's just go a little bit lighter. Bring it around. I'll use my fingers and just use that hackle pliers just to bring it around the top. Okay, let's bring it around. Probably maybe 3 or 4 times. Just build it up a little bit. Come on, get it. Yeah, it's starting to spread out. Let me get you. There we go. Let me get you out of the way. Let's just try my fingers and see if it's going to work. I can just work it around that hook without. Yeah, see, it's just so slippery in my fingers, but it's working. Let's get you over here. See, and this peacock curl is kind of fuzzy. Yeah, and I've never really paid much attention to the insects, even though I was in the pest control business for years, but over 20 years. But I've never really paid much attention to how fuzzy they are. Okay, so that looks good right there. So okay, so now I gotta bring this back up, anchor that down. I might use some more because I'm not gonna be able to use much of this for anything else. So let's see if I can build that up a little bit. Hold on to it, Ron. Make it a little bit fatter. Okay, let's try it. And let's just take those spiral wraps off. Okay, so let's come around and okay, I'm gonna have to switch hands here with that. Let's come around and see if I can hook that, which I did. Let's do it again. Make sure I got that. And then I'm gonna bring that around that side of it. Make sure we got a hook. Okay, we got it. So now we can cut that off of there. Okay, so there's our first bump of peacock earl. Okay, so now we got a section. Okay, we got a section of the pink. Okay, so now I'm going to go with some more peacock earl up closer, probably right about here. And then we'll put the hackle on there. Hopefully today's video won't be as long as yesterday. Believe it or not, it took, oh gosh. I was uploading it to YouTube, and it said it was going to take like 2.5 hours to upload it, so I let it go. So in about 2.5 hours I went and checked on it, and it still said it had 2 hours to go. And then 9 o'clock last night, when I went to bed, I checked on it, and it still was uploading. So I said, okay, I'm just going to leave it alone, and so I let it go. And then when I got up, well, I didn't check it again last night because Colleen was in bed and I didn't want to disturb her, so I waited until this morning and I went and checked on it, and finally it was done uploading. So these this type of video is taking a little bit longer, but see, all the other videos I did was just like it was photography. That didn't take much, and the music, those weren't long videos at all. But these fly tying ones, they're a lot longer. So okay, so let's get this back up here. So let's take her right here. We want to come up a little bit. Let's go ahead and bring it another wrap, and we'll say we'll go right about here. Anchor that down. Make some wraps up here. Okay, now let's do the same thing. Alright, let me get this thread over here out of the way. Okay, so let's do it again with the fingers and see if we can get that section built up here. Make a little bump out of it. Yeah, when I was in, oops. Yeah, see what I mean? Okay, well, let's just leave those pliers alone. Let's just do it with my finger. I just lost half of the strand, but that's all right. We got enough left. Yeah, when I was in the pest control business, I started with like Terminex, you know, and then I switched over and I went to work for Woods Pest Control for I think about 12 or 13 years. And then I know when I went to work for them, we were always told that the pesticides, you know, that we used, you know, were safe, that they didn't bother you. You know, well, I can't say for sure that's what made me sick, but I tell you, there towards the end, my doctor, Dr. Mancher, he finally said, okay, Ron, you got to get it into a different business, because I was breaking out with a rash. I was coming home sick at night. So he said, your body's telling you, you've had enough of the pesticides. So you need to get some other kind of career. And so that's what I did. I quit, and then I went on state rehab, and they helped. Oh shoot, it slipped. Dang it. Okay, let's back this off and see if I can. Okay, that looks good there. Don't break it. So I went back to state rehab, and they helped me go back to school. And when I was at Shasta College, I was lucky enough to get hired on by the Forest Service, doing houseboat inspections. They had to renew their permits each year up on Shasta Lake, and in order to renew their permit, well, they had to have an inspection and make sure everything was okay. So that's what I did, and that's how I got started with the Forest Service, and I think it was like 22 years later, I retired. Okay, so there. Okay, so we got the peacock earl on there. Let's make one more wrap. Let's try to cover that part. Okay, so we got the peacock earl on there, and so far it's looking good. Let's see how this tail's gonna come out. I won't trim it yet until I get everything done. Yeah, that'll be all right. Probably one of the last things I'll do is I'll make a wrap under the tail to make sure to lift it up like this. Okay, so now we're gonna go for our, oh, let's see, I see we got some, it looks like yarn or marabou or something. Okay, so I got, oh, let me put these peacock feathers up and get them out of our way. And I got some chunks here I can use. I'll save those. Tell you what, this is kind of a, oh, there's another one up there. It's kind of a pain working with this stuff, especially when you're trying to put it in little sacks like this. They're so light and they cling to you. But I just shove them in there. I'll try to get this done pretty quick. So, you know, I don't know if you're kind of interested in watching these ball games, but you know, we are getting towards the end of the season, so they're playing for playoff spots right now. So far, last week, Coley and I, every game we watched was an excellent game. And the best one I liked was, I think it was the Minnesota Vikings. They came back, you know, in the second half, and I can't remember how many points they were behind, like 30 points, you know, but it was, they set a record for the greatest comeback in NFL history. And good for them, you know, and that game was actually played in the snow. Okay, let's put this up, get it out of our way. We'll go back into the hair bag for now. Alright, so let's get this. I'm not sure. This stuff is just really fine. And it's kind of hard to work with, but it looks like I got to make a little, you got a little clump of it in there, and hackles wrapped around it. So we're going to, let's see, and I think I'm going to have to just take a little clump here, and you just got to find the stem, pull it off of there, kind of separate it the best you can. That should work. So I'm going to shove the rest of it. You see what I mean? It's just, it's so fine, it's so. Colleen's cousin, I think I told you about him yesterday, but he goes fishing with me, and they live down there in Corning, and he finds dead birds around his place a lot of the times. He doesn't kill them. He just, for some reason, they just, you know, I guess at, you know, old age, just like the rest of us, they finally pass away, and he'll pick them up, and he brings them to me because he knows I tie flies. And I've gotten quite a bit of feathers from him. You know, but I tell you what, that's a mess when you get a bird like that and you pluck the feathers, and you know, then you got to wash it. Yeah, and you wash it with borax, borax, laundry soap, and detergent soap. And you know, you just soak it in that for like about 4 hours. You know, and then you wring it out. You know, and then what I do is I've got like a little food strainer that I put it all in, and I take one of Colleen's stockings and I put over the top, and then I just blow dry it. And I mean, that stuff is just, it goes everywhere. I started to do it inside the house one time, and then feathers were going everywhere. You know, and so that put me on Colleen's naughty list. So I moved out to the shop to do that, and I'm still sweeping up, you know, the feathers. Okay, so let's see how we're going to do this. Okay, so I think we can just probably, that's, I'm just going to go ahead, and that's going to be in front, so we're going to kind of twist this up. and kind of gauge it where we're going to go. And so I'm going to put it like right about here and see if I can tie that, anchor that off, and then we'll trim it. And it's not really critical where, as long as I can get it up. So I got 2 wraps around that side. Let's bring a wrap around this side, and that should make it start to stand up a little bit. Okay, let's make another wrap. Kind of make it, yeah, see, there's make it stand up a bit. Let's go again here, and let's go again there. And that should be good there, and I can trim this part off. And I don't want to cut what I got going, but I want to make sure that's laid down. And let's just see why it's really hard to work with. It's just so light. So let's just see if I can. I'll just cut a chunk of it off, just to get it out of the way. I probably made a mistake there. Let's pull that out. Okay, let's see if I can. I'm just trying to guess where. Let's just trim it away. Hi, you guys. Yeah, it's Ron again. Hey, I have to apologize. I forgot when I was tying this fly, the Quack, on these Nikons. If you shoot at 1080p, which I do, I shoot at 1080p. It's either 1080p or 1060p. I can't remember. 1080, I think. You can only shoot 20 minutes worth of footage before the camera shuts off, because it heats up, and I guess it needs to cool down a little bit. So anyway, that's why when we were tying this fly here, that's why it just stopped. So and I apologize. I knew that, but I completely forgot about it. So from now on, I gotta remember to keep the videos at 20 minutes, or I need to drop down the format on there. I can take it down to 720p, and I could probably get 45 minutes to an hour of video before it shuts down. So anyway, I apologize, but this is the finished fly. So, but there it is. That's the Quack. Yeah, the only thing I have to do is just put the head cement on there, and seal where I did the whip finish, and she's all done. But anyway, there it is. That's the Quack. Hey, thanks for watching videos with the Gregorys. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.